All right, guys, we gotta talk about it. COINTELPRO is hardcore on TikTok right now. COINTELPRO is in full force on TikTok right now. Let me tell you, they are in full force on TikTok right now. Let me tell you. So right now, I'm having some construction done on my barn back on there. Right now, the conversation on TikTok right now is that we got to hold black men accountable, and I find that interesting. Let me show you the reason why I find that to be fascinating. Just a fascinating coincidence, just interesting. I want people to see the reason why I find it to be a strange thing that we're talking about just all of a sudden. Here we go. So you see, say we gotta hold black men accountable, right? So I want y'all to see this. Nearly 60% of the people at the Innocence Project has been black men. Nearly 60% of the people that the Innocence Project has been black men. But we got to hold black men accountable. But nearly 60% of the people from 1992 until 2022 that the Innocence Project has been black men. We got to hold black men accountable. I get it. So let me get this straight. You're telling me that we got to hold black men accountable, right? We got to hold them accountable. And yet, even when we're not guilty of a crime, we're still locked up. But you got to hold us accountable. Even when black men are innocent and not guilty of a crime, you still got to hold us accountable. Ain't that fascinating? I want to show you guys some more. We got to hold black men accountable. The Innocence Project, when they looked into it, the vast majority of people out there, right, who were being convicted of, false crimes, we're not only black people. A good bit of them involve police misconduct and prosecutorial misconduct and judicial misconduct. But we got to hold black men accountable. I get it. Man. We got to hold black men accountable. But the Innocence Project, as I said, the vast majority of people that we spend our money on to actually free out of prison for innocent charges, for bad charges, and people who had to be compensated for being locked up are black men. So we're held accountable even when we're not even guilty. But remember, we got to hold black men accountable. Again, I want to show that screenshot again. Nearly 60% of the people that the Innocence Project has helped free or exonerated has been black men. But we got to hold black men accountable. Make it make sense. How in the world do you have a system where black men are being exonerated? Some of them haven't even been compensated for being locked up for decades of their life. No compensation for some of them. But you want to sit your little cool mouth and come on freaking TikTok. Black men need to be held accountable. In a system of white supremacy, there is no such thing as accountability for freaking black men because a freaking black man is freaking accountable. Be you young, be you old, be you mentally ill, be you mentally sane, be you rich, be you poor. Like Jay-Z said, dark one, light skin, rich, poor, you're still an N-word. OJ like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. No. See, that's the whole thing. A lot of people on black TikTok, you think that you ain't OJ. You'll jump on black men and destroy us and constantly poke at black unity, right? But you will hold us to a standard that even white men haven't reached yet. We are the most exonerated demographic in the country, and yet here you are talking about how black men need to be held accountable. I mean, it's just, I want y'all to see this, right? So, black people 7.5 times more likely to be convicted of a false unaliving than white people. According to an actual report, 7.5 times more likely of being falsely convicted of taking someone's life, right? Of taking someone's life than a white person. and we get exonerated. But you want to tell me black men aren't held accountable? We are locked up for crimes we aren't even damn committing. But you want to tell me that we aren't held accountable? You want to tell me that Emmett Till wasn't held accountable for something that he didn't even do? You want to tell me that George Floyd, he didn't lose his life because of freaking systemic white supremacy? You want to tell me that Tamir Rice, he wasn't held accountable for something that he didn't even do? You want to tell me that Philando Castile, he wasn't held accountable for even owning a gun? You want to tell me that MLK wasn't holding black men accountable and then lost his life because he stood up because he actually stood up for his damn people. You wouldn't tell me that freaking Nipsey Hussle, who was trying to clean up his damn life, become a good person in the freaking community. He was holding black men accountable. And what happened? He got shot like every other leader in the freaking black community. Every other strong black man we've ever had. Maybe the problem isn't that we are not held accountable. It's that some of us are tired of getting shot. Maybe it's not that we aren't held accountable. It's that you hold us to standards that your folks don't reach. Not even black women. Let's keep it a buck. Let's hold everybody accountable. Meanwhile, let me show you what's actually going on in this country. Let me show you something real quick. Did you know that 40% of cops who touch kids, who violate kids, who have CSAM material, who go around touching on women, who violate women, force themselves on women, you know almost 40% of them don't receive prison time? And the vast majority of them are white. But black men aren't held accountable. Did you know that? Did you know that was a thing that was reported last year in 2024? The Washington Post looked into police officers who were arrested, and they found an epidemic of officers who are predators who prey on children. It's been a problem, but nobody wants to even talk about it because the vast majority of those officers are white. But black men aren't held accountable. Almost 40% of the people who are cops who touch kids, don't receive prison time. Almost 40%. And you would think the numbers of cops who are being arrested is a low number. They are in the top 5 by profession, by people who touch kids because of school resource officers. When you think about it just for a second, you got teachers, you got clergy, you got scout leaders, you got coaches, and then you have school resource officers. Who else would it be? Think about it. Think about it. The vast majority of people out there who are charged with these heinous crimes, let me show you another screenshot, right? So what they found over the past 2 decades, that you had 1,800 officers arrested in under a 10-year period. And those officers were touching on women, touching on children, being predators, doing Epstein stuff, Law and Order SVU stuff. So what ends up happening is nobody talks about it. Nobody brings it up. But it was happening. The vast majority of people who were doing that were white. Right? Vast majority. In fact, let me show you how well known this is. This is an advertisement from a freaking law firm. A law firm called D-Law, who is advertising the fact that hundreds of police officers have touched on kids and avoided prison time. And they are saying, hey, if you or your kid has been touched by a cop, contact my law firm. They are advertising this. That's how true it is. But black men aren't held accountable. Wow. Now you see what I see, right? When I see this silly trend of black men aren't held accountable, and I see law firms advertise the fact that hundreds of law enforcement officers have touched kids in this country and received no prison time, and they are advertising the fact that they can actually help you get justice if that happened to you. But you're telling me that black men aren't held accountable when the vast majority of these officers who have touched kids are white? Are white? Are you serious? Are you serious? Really? Black men aren't held accountable. Once again, I want to show you something real quick. I want to recap this. We are held accountable, but we are the most exonerated group according to the Innocence Project. Nearly 60% of all the people that the Innocence Project has freed, has helped to get freed because of false charges have been black men. Right? And that's juxtaposed to the fact that hundreds of law enforcement officers, hundreds of cops have touched kids and have actually avoided prison. And the vast majority of them are white. But you're going to tell me black men aren't held accountable? Really? Oh, that I want to make this. I want to make this very, very clear. I want to recap this. Say it one more time for you. I want to be like Umar. I want to say it one more time for you. So, according to the Innocence Project, nearly 60% of all people that they've helped to exonerate since 1992 all the way up until now have been black men. But you say black men are held accountable. But that's juxtaposed to the fact that hundreds of law enforcement officers in the states have touched on kids, violated kids, have CSAM material, and they've avoided jail. Almost 40% of the cops who are arrested for such crimes avoid jail. And the vast majority of cops in this country are white. But you're telling me that black men are unaccountable? Black men are unaccountable. That's interesting. Are unaccountable? Black men are unaccountable. That's interesting. This police chief just escaped prison. He's a former police chief. His name, Grant Harden. Grant Harden escaped prison after he essayed a woman and also took someone's life, shot him in the head. Shot him in the head. He just escaped prison. He's at large right now. We don't know where in the hell he's at. But you're telling me that black men right now in this moment, while he's at large, while he's out free, you're going to tell me right now in this moment, black men aren't accountable? Who has account of him? Who? Oh, black men are accountable. How about the fact that Trump just pardoned this sheriff here, Scott Jenkins, when he was convicted of bribery, embezzlement, all kinds of crimes. This Porky the Pig looking mofo here. But black men aren't accountable. This man just got pardoned even though he was convicted in federal court. But you're telling me that we aren't held accountable. Meanwhile, while he just got pardoned, the Innocence Project says that most people that they've helped to get freed have been black men. So, once again, most people the Innocence Project has actually freed have been black men. Meanwhile, this guy, sheriff, just got pardoned, even though he was convicted. And we know that according to law firms and the Washington Post, that hundreds of law enforcement officers in the states have avoided jail time, even though they've been preying on kids. But black men are the ones who are unaccountable. Every coon out there who pushed this trend, I'm blocking you. I want nothing to do with you. You're not salvageable. I'm sick of this. Every time you have some black empowerment that pops up, right? Every time, right? What do you get? You get brick lady. You get black man need therapy. You get all these gender divides that happens every time we have black empowerment. We were just talking about the damn Nottoway fire. Now, what the hell are we talking about in damn black TikTok? What? When we were talking about reparations, what did the conversation become? It became about Brick Lady, Carly Russell. And I'm not just upset at the attacks on black men. I'm upset at the attacks on black women as well. Because Carly Russell was used as a freaking attack on black women. Everybody in the media and the cops knew she was lying. And they were using that to discredit the women who have gone missing so that they don't have to even look for you. They'll just say, you are another Carly Russell. That's why I got upset. Because I used to work law enforcement. I saw the play. I saw it with freaking Brick Lady. Now, with Brick Lady, If a woman comes forward, if a black woman comes forward and says, hey, some man assaulted me. Now they have the perfect excuse to say, are you another freaking brick lady? And y'all fall for it every time. Those scenarios serve multiple purposes. To discredit black unity and also discredit your victim struggle. And you gave it to them. Hook, line, and fucking sinker. You gave it to them. You gave it to them. And that's the part that pisses me off the most, that we gave it to them. Every time we have a period of black unity, every time we have Alabama boat brawl. Remember the guy threw up the freaking hat, the freaking back signal, the freaking bat signal? Well, you had unity. And what happened shortly after? Gender divide. The reason why it keeps popping up like this is because it works. It's easy. It's deployable. It's like a unit from any like from like the freaking military. It's deployable. It's easily deployed. The gender divide. Every time we have a period of black unity, that happens every time without fail. In fact, you know, the next time we have a period of black unity, say a police officer shoots another black person, then we're going to have something over the summer. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to make it private. I'm not going to change the date of the video. I'm going to put the date. I'm going to put a date actually in text on screen. I'm going to say about a month or two from now, we're going to be at each other's throats because of a gender divide. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You know, we just had Super Bowl, right? What dissipated that energy? Gender divide. You just had sinners. And we did a good job of deflecting outside influence from the Hispanic community and the other communities where we stopped them from trying to co-opt it. Then we had Nottoway fire. We had a roll. We had a roll going. Then we had the bar fight. Then we had the other plantation fire up in D.C. And then what happens? This. There was too much momentum. If you study the CIA, man, let me tell you something, right? CIA, right? A lot of people say I'm pushing the conspiracy theories. They're saying that the CIA is pushing this, whole black men accountable thing, right? Let me give you some simple proof in that. Now, you look at Haiti. I did a whole deep dive into Haiti. As a playlist on my channel called The CIA Destroyed Haiti. They did the exact same thing in Haiti, right? They use paramilitary groups. They use groups who were social groups. They use everything else. They gave people money to not only spread influence and also break up grassroots movements, but also assassinate people. Like, for example, there was this group in Haiti called FRAF, F-R-A-P-H, FRAF. It was ran by this guy named Emmanuel Constant and another former Haitian army general named Guy Biambi, Philippe Biambi. They assassinated former Haitian justice minister named Guy Mallory, and the CIA, coming to find out, were paying them. They were on the payroll. If you Google right now, Emmanuel Constant, CIA payroll, Google that right now. I'm telling you, it will pop up. I'm telling you. They have the paperwork. People did FOIAs. Freedom of Information Act requests. Yes. Google it. It's in articles from the freaking 90s. I'm not kidding you. Emmanuel Constant and FRAP, they were paid by the freaking CIA to destabilize the Haitian government. They're doing that to other black countries. And now you think they can't do this on one social media app? Who do you take them for? Who do you take them for? They destabilized the whole country with a vampire myth. And now you think that social media is beyond them? Who do you take them for? What budget do you think they're working with? Do you think that they have peanuts? Trump gave them more money. If you look at what happened in Haiti, DRC, even South Africa at this point, you see the same things over and over and over and over again. See, they couldn't separate us from Palestine. They couldn't get us to basically stop supporting Palestine. So what do? They put people on social media claiming that, black people don't support Palestinians enough. That was the first one. The other one is, I took a group of black activists over to Palestine and then they made everything about them when the Palestinians were a little bit racist. Are you not noticing these patterns? What budget do you think intelligence agencies are working off of? I gotta know. Do y'all think these people don't have money? Do y'all think U.S. intelligence don't have billions of dollars to throw at one issue? Go look at how they try to take out Fidel Castro, one guy. I guarantee you black America is much more of a threat to freaking U.S. intelligence than one Fidel Castro. And you look at the amount of money we spent to try to take out that one guy. The wildly coyote crazy shit that we tried. And you look at social media, you know they're here. So what are they doing? They just sitting there? Just watching? You don't think any of them are freaking influencers? You didn't know that Myron Gaines used to be a federal agent? A literal federal agent? Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know that some of the black creators who are, I'm going to say some of them might be in the Air Force, putting on dashikis and everything else, putting on nice performative action? You don't think some of them are agents? Really? I got to ask you a question. The same way Cat Williams asked that question, what do you think a plant is? What do y'all think a plant is? What do y'all think a plant is? Do y'all not see? If you look on social media, you look on TikTok, you look on YouTube, you look on Twitter, you look on Facebook, you can pick the agents. You can pick them. Listen to the people who are always going along with the popular narrative or the trends. You can always tell. It's never the people who are going against it. Look, why in the world would the government want someone like me to say this to you? What benefit would that have? What I'm telling you is that you're being manipulated to go against your own people, right? You're being manipulated to go against your own people. You have momentum with the Nottoway plantation, what happened in that freaking bar. You had so much momentum. Why is it being disrupted now? What is disrupting it? Kev Ranks, what's going on, Kev? How you doing? What is being disrupted now? Why are we not talking about Nottoway in the history of it? Why did that just go away all of a sudden? What happened? Why is that? Well, let me tell you what happened. What happened was this whole let's hold black men accountable thing. This sort of trend pops up every time we have black unity. Each and every time. Every time. In fact, let's go through a list. Okay. Now, I remember when I was getting millions of views off of talking about reparations, right? And then I was noticing, I said, I'm losing views here. I know we care about the issue. Why am I losing views here? I started looking around black TikTok. I noticed Brick Lady, that caused so much problems. That caused so much. That disrupted all black momentum on TikTok. It was the talk of the town, and that's all anybody was talking about. That's what happened. Then we got over that. We found out Brick Lady was a liar. We got over that. Then you had Carly Russell. That came around a time in which reparations conversations popped back up. I know because I was getting more analytics based on it. Carly Russell caused a gender divide, whereas you had this fake story who, if you just listened to the story from the very beginning, you would have known it was a lie. But the media and the cops pushed it so that when a black woman goes missing, they could just say, well, we ain't gotta look for her. She's another freaking Carly Russell. You know that's what they're doing. You know that's how she's been used ever since. But that popped up when reparations popped back up again as a conversation. Okay? The Mississippi, the Alabama boat brawl. Remember that? Black unity. The bat signal that got through the hat up. What happened? You tell me. Another gender divide. I was there. I saw it. That's right around the time the talk of black men need therapy started resurfacing and became a freaking trend again. Right around that time, if you actually go back and look. Then, if you want, look even deeper, recently, the Nottoway Plantation fire, what happened at that freaking bar where that white man came in and called all the black people the N-word, and then the black people started fighting and beating them up, putting the Beats by Dre on them. And then you had the white man going missing at Lake Lanier. The lightning striking the police vehicle the lightning striking the police vehicle, right, in Newcastle, Oklahoma. And then all of a sudden, right, the trend pops up saying, black men need to be held accountable. Let me ask you a question. If black men need to be held accountable so bad, how come we couldn't have the same conversation in damn January? Why now? If black men need to be held so accountable, how come we didn't have the same trend in, December of 2024? If black men need to be held so accountable, how come we didn't have the same conversation, February? It would have made sense then, during Valentine's Day, right? Oh, because it wasn't convenient to break up black unity. That's why. See, when you pay attention to things, you can see the CIA and the FBI influence. If you just pay attention, you're looking at a guy who has been interviewed by 6 different news agencies in 6 different goddamn states for doing deep dives into CIA activity into Haiti, Democratic Republic of freaking Congo, South Africa. I mean, you name it. I mean, when you look at the CIA's activities and the FBI's activities with the Black Panther Party, there is no debate. There's not a single counter argument that you can make. How do you look at the Black Panther Party and tell me that the CIA and the FBI wouldn't implant certain narratives just to break you up? So let me get this straight. They're going to go through the trouble of training a whole ass agent. Right? A whole ass agent. Right? Like Richard Okoye. You remember Richard Okoye, the Asian guy? The minister, Richard Okoye, he joined the Black Panther Party. He was an agent the whole time. So they're going to go through the trouble of training a whole ass agent versus just putting out a single social media trend and paying a black influencer to put it out there. Let me ask you a question. Which one is easier and much more efficient? Which one is easier and much more efficient? What are your thoughts on a new FBI director? He's a white supremacist who just don't realize it. He's a dark-skinned one. That's all. BPP was an agency of the FBI. No, it wasn't. No, they weren't. They weren't. There were certain agents within the Black Panther Party, but the Black Panther Party itself was solid. Them brothers and sisters, especially the sisters, man, they stood on business. We not going to do any Black Panther Party slander in this chat. I'm not going to hold them responsible for some of the coonery that I've seen out of certain vanguards in the modern day. But we're not going to do no wholesale slander of the Black Panther Party. They were solid. It was unfortunate that the J. Edgar Hoover and everybody else targeted them. It was unfortunate that that the FBI and the CIA targeted them. But no, they weren't. No, they were down with the business, man. They stood 10 toes down. The Black Panther Party, the free food program, that was so instrumental in helping the black community. And not only that, it set a pattern and it set a standard for others to follow. You know, you look at them going through neighborhoods, feeding people, doing cop watching, making sure cops didn't just hurt black people, and they use their Second Amendment right to do so. And then all of a sudden, that's what ended open carry in California, thanks to the Mulford Act with Ronald Reagan and Don Mulford. Yeah, we not gonna do no slander of the Black Panther Party. Them brothers and sisters were definitely solid. But the problem that I have right now, when I look around Black TikTok right now, I'm noticing people ignoring patterns. Why is it that every time that we have a conversation about, you know, Black unity, we are pushing, you know, pushing reparations, we're pushing economic justice, we are pushing, you know, recognition, we are pushing, you know, Black culture. Right now, Black culture is at an all-time high, thanks to Kendrick and thanks to Sinners and other things right now. Why now? Because that Nottoway Plantation, Kendrick, Sinners, all that stuff together, it was too much. At some point, you got to break that up. So if you think this whole we got all Black men accountable thing is the worst that we've seen, it's not even the worst. It's not even the worst. It's not even worse. It's gonna get so much worse. It's gonna get so much worse. And the part that I think a lot of people are missing is that it follows a very unique pattern. Think about anything that you've seen on Black TikTok that was pro-Black, a pro-Black trend. I want you to know it's the Black girl follow train, right? If you seem to think that white folks, intelligence agencies, everybody else won't mess with the Black girl follow train, let me ask you a question. Why is that certain Black women who use that tag, they got visited by the FBI? You didn't know that? You didn't know that TikTok started removing that trend? You didn't know that? You didn't know that a bunch of white women started complaining about the trend, started flagging down any Black woman who was pushing that trend, that hashtag? You didn't know that? Go and seek out the woman who came up with the freaking hashtag and ask her if everything that I just said was true. You didn't know that? Oh, see, now it's a problem because it affected Black women. Oh. Show me one positive thing a Black woman has done on this app or any other app that wasn't immediately co-opted or disrupted. Just one thing. Just one. Don't worry, I'll wait. Please type it out. Show me one thing a Black woman has created on this app or any other app that wasn't immediately co-opted or destroyed. If you can't think of anything, there's your answer. There's your answer. If they're doing it to Black women, what do you think that they've been doing to Black men? Why do you think right now they are pushing so hard to break up the solidarity between Black women and Black men? Why do you think that is? Why do you think right now is the time? Here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. If we got to hold Black men accountable so bad, and if assuming that Black men are Black men, are you not noticing that none of the white women who are in interracial relationships are putting out this stuff? Are you noticing that a bunch of the white women that the Black NBA players marry, have you noticed them talking about this freaking trend here? We got to hold Black men accountable, even though we know a lot of those ball players cheat. They're not even saying that, right? They ain't even saying that because they know what this is. They ain't Hollywood. They know what this is. Come on now. Knows all the white women who are married to Black men who have black men as boyfriends and baby daddies, knows how they're not joining your stupid little trend because they understand it denigrates their men. So they are not going to, right? They are not going to engage in that. They know better. I mean, you have to show me at least a handful of white women in interracial relationships who are talking about this trend. No. Before you say another thing and disagree with me, please just post the links. Let's see them. There's plenty of them on freaking TikTok, a whole bunch of them. But you don't find none of them talking about this. Why is that? Not one? Why are there no white women who are in interracial relationships with black men talking, right, about this trend? Why is it only black women talking about black men need to be held accountable? And there's only a bunch of black men who are pandering who are talking about this. I haven't seen a single white woman who was in an interracial relationship say this stuff. Are they not with freaking black men too? They are. My wife is white as well. And the first thing that she said as soon as she heard this thing, she said, I have black sons. This sounds anti-black. I don't want no part of this. So the white woman saw it, but you didn't. See, when something is designed by white people, other white people can recognize it. This is why you can't recognize it. Because some of you truly don't understand white supremacy. You don't get it. You don't get it. You think you do, but you don't get it. You don't get how this works. You think who somebody marries actually matters. Go tell that to Strom Thurmond. He sure got black daughters. That don't matter for shit. Okay? You think that matters? Go tell that to freaking Kid Rock. Kid Rock openly uses the N-word. And he thinks it's okay because his kids are damn black. That's who you have sex with. That don't have no bearing on how well you could be a black activist, a white supremacist, whatever. That has no bearing on anything. It's just sex, or sometimes just marriage. It's just that. But see, a lot of you haven't even moved past that yet. So of course you can't see the trend. Of course you'll never see it. How is it that I posted this same thing on r/conspiracy on Reddit? That subreddit is known to be racist. They push racist conspiracies against Jewish people and black people all the time. When I posted this, right, about COINTELPRO infiltrating the black community, almost every single white person in that damn subreddit agreed with me. Don't believe me? Go to r/conspiracy. Go look up the recent post about COINTELPRO. That post is from me. There's only one r/conspiracy. Go look it up for yourself and go see if I made that shit up. See if I'm bullshitting. Why are all these people agreeing with a black man on Reddit in a subreddit says r/conspiracy that you know has posted Jewish conspiracies and black conspiracies? Just the name alone tells you that, okay? And it is Reddit. I mean, but guess what? They all agree with me. They said, you're right. We see it too. How can they see it? How can all these white people? There was even a Puerto Rican guy, a Puerto Rican activist, man. Even he was like, yeah, we see it from outside too, man. How can they see it, but none of our black creators can freaking see it? It's pitiful, man. It's pitiful, man. It's crazy when other people from the outside of your community can see something that you can't see because it wasn't designed for you to see. Because we are a benevolent people. We don't understand evil. And so when evil pops up, you're easily fooled by it. This is why we're always inviting everybody to the damn cookout. Or we always think somebody is your you always think somebody is your damn ally. Because you don't recognize evil. You don't know what Satan looks like. So you assume everybody's a damn angel. That's our problem. That's our problem right there. You can't recognize when something is being used as a weapon against you. And until we get past that stage, man, I just don't know how we can overcome. I just don't know. I don't know, man. We got to get past that, man. We gotta get past that. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love to you guys, and be safe out there, and don't believe the bullshit, guys. Don't believe the bullshit.